Hello everyone, good evening to you and welcome to SBN News. I am Ricky and we are here today with Facebook, that social media company. Founded in 2004 as the Facebook by Mark Zuckerberg. We all know about this site, I don't have to give any more about that. We've all at one point in time had a Facebook account, at least most of us around the world. Some of us have had one, some of us still use one, or some people still use the platform that is, and some people have deleted their accounts. I know that for a fact. I have friends who have done that. I still have a Facebook account. I mostly use it for the messenger side of the things, because I like to talk to friends. It's probably the only reason I still have an account. I will log on to the main site every now and then and say hi to people or wish them a happy birthday if I just happen to get a notification on the site saying, "Oi, this friend of yours has a birthday," kind of thing. But I wouldn't really say I use it that much. But, that's just me. That being said, so, would you be surprised to know that the company who owns Facebook, this wonderful site, and actually a few of other sites that it owns as well, which includes WhatsApp and Instagram, happens to be called Facebook? Big whoop. But here's the interesting thing. This is the site, the logo used for Facebook as a company, not as the website shows. So this is the Facebook logo for the website, and the first thing that comes up is the F in the circle, or the older one, which is the F in a box. Same kind of principle, but you've got this one right here for the corporate site that's Facebook, because Facebook corporate is different from Facebook as a website, as a platform. There seems to be a little bit of confusion about this, because it seems as though Facebook is planning on changing its name. Now, as I say, Facebook doesn't just own its title product. It also owns several other products. It includes Messenger, which is tied to Facebook. Messenger was at one point in time a separate entity within the Facebook ecosystem. It still kind of is when it comes to the apps. As I say, Facebook as a company, not the platform itself, also owns the platform Instagram and the company WhatsApp, and the platform that is WhatsApp. It also owns, I believe, Oculus Rift, or Oculus as a brand kind of thing. The headgear company that does VR, that kind of stuff. So it seems for this reason that Facebook is now changing its corporate identity, because if you may have noticed before, you may have seen this logo on apps that you use, including Instagram and that kind of stuff, that would be just hidden at the bottom kind of thing. I don't like this logo. I'll just say it right here, right out. I don't like this logo. It's a little bit boring to me. It's a little bit too kind of designer clothing-esque. It's like one of those things you would just see slapped on a clothing brand in the local mall or something. I don't really like it, but that's just me. Anyways, that I digress. We're going to read this article where it says right here, as I say, Facebook is planning on to change its name as part of a corporate rebrand, because it's apparently going into more stuff. It's going into gaming stuff. It's going into, I think it's going into VR stuff as well. But we will dig into this as we go. And it says, Facebook plans to change its name as part of a corporate company rebrand report. Move could position social media app as one of many products under a parent company. Oh, so this is the actual app itself it's rebranding, huh? Interesting. Facebook plans to make a dramatic break from its past by rebranding the company. It's saying the company now. Fair enough. Facebook's founder and chief executive, Mark Zuckerberg, is planning to talk about the name change at a company event next week, but it could be unveiled sooner, reports The Verge, a US tech news website. Under the plans, Facebook would change the name of its holding company, but not that of its eponymous, well, that's basically, another word for that is basically just title app. The app with the same title which the Facebook company owns, the Facebook app, basically. Social media platform known internally as the Big Blue app, as well as its founding site. The company also owns Instagram, WhatsApp, and the virtual reality brand Oculus. There you go, I got that one right. The Verge reported that the new name for the holding company would be linked to Horizon. Huh. A word used at least 2 virtual reality products that the company is developing. Zuckerberg launched his company as The Facebook 17 years ago. I believe that The Facebook was released as a school service. There's a site called Moodle, which I think is actually used in colleges. I know because I've been at a college that uses this Moodle platform. And this is basically what the Facebook was designed for back in the day. It was used for like a social media platform for schools and colleges. I think, based on top of my head, I believe that's what it was. Could be wrong. I do welcome corrections in the comments below. That being said, the statement Facebook said it doesn't comment on rumour or speculation. The Verge reported that the new name for the holding company would be linked to Horizon, a word. Well, I've already read that bit. Facebook is reportedly pondering the rebrand against the backdrop of its worst PR crisis since the Cambridge Analytica. Let me not go into that again. I've already talked about this on my older news channel, but I don't go into it here. Most people who are probably watching this are familiar with the whole Cambridge Analytica incident that happened a little while ago. A former employee, Francis Haugen, has leaked tens of thousands of documents and gave damning testimony to US senators this month, in which she said Facebook put astronomical profits before people. According to The Verge, VR is the driver of the mooted name change as the company focuses on building a metaverse as the cornerstone of a new growth strategy. The Verge reported that the rebranding announcement could take place at the company's annual product conference, Connect, on the 20th of October, when more details about the metaverse are set to be unveiled. I see. Oculus products could be a key product in the metaverse, a loosely defined concept that involves people leading their social and professional lives and interacting with other people via VR sets and through augmented reality, where a digital layer is placed on top of real life, as in the popular Pokemon Go game. I've used VR. I don't have a VR headset, but I do have the botched little plastic shell that you get that you just stick a phone into. It works quite well. I don't really see myself needing a proper VR set, but who knows. Facebook is developing a social virtual reality platform called Horizon Worlds, as well as a virtual reality meeting service called Horizon Workrooms. I believe that's similar to, I can't remember what it's called. It's not Gary's Mod. There's a game that's on Steam service. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like that as well. People can talk to each other, kind of thing, and have a good old time. It's a VR game. But someone can let me know about that is in the comments below as well if they know what that is. Nick Clegg. Nick Clegg, Vice President of Global Affairs, says that it now takes its Monday morning meetings in the metaverse with a virtual table and whiteboard. Oh, I don't know why to me it sounds a little bit cringy to me, but Facebook says it has just under 2.8 billion daily users for its products, but Zuckerberg is renowned for his focus on growth, which is driven by a fear that Facebook could be superseded by a digital upstart at any moment. Whip to do. This week, Facebook said it was creating 10,000 jobs at the European Union as part of growth plans that include building a metaverse. Facebook's rebranding move, if it goes ahead, is not without precedent. In 2015, Google rebranded itself as Alphabet, got a corporate site that holds up everything, because a lot of the stuff that Google did back in the day has been split from the Google brand. I think there's a company called Waymo, which is actually being used to help power automated cars. That is split from the Google brand. It's not part of Alphabet, so it's kind of like it's branching off kind of thing from the Alphabet brand. Google is this, and then YouTube branches off of Google. It is confusing. It is complex, but companies be companies, I suppose. Reflecting its determination to break into new fields in tech such as self-driving cars. There you go, I just talked about that. Facebook shares have performed strongly this year, up 25% since January, given the company, which makes the overwhelming majority of its money from advertisers targeting its user base. A valuation of just under... Oh god. A valuation of just under 1 trillion, however the company... I think that's trillion. However, the company's shares have fallen below their September peak. Probably because people are giving up on the platform. Facebook fans significant pressure following the Haugen revelations. As it should. The former Facebook product manager who left the company in May told the US Congress that the company was harming children and destabilizing democracies. Haugen has been behind the leak of a number of documents to the Wall Street Journal, including showing internal research revealing that 30% of teenage girls felt Instagram made dissatisfaction with their body worse. This is literally 1984 in some cases, you could probably argue. You know, we never planned, for centuries for corporations to literally hold people in environments, not like for-profit organisations holding communities in as such a way like this before. It is just out of control. It happens with Google, it happens with Facebook, it happens with all these big tech firms. The world did not expect that someday big corporations would be holding groups of groups of people, communities on top of each other and just wreaking money off them. It was expected that would be what governments do. There's been a lot of over the years conspiracy theories about that kind of stuff, but it is scary, and there's only one way to stop it: kill the internet. But we're not going to do that, are we? I like the internet, to be fair, but I think if these bigger sites had left, the internet would be a much better place, I think. Who needs Facebook, and who needs... I was about to say who needs YouTube, but... well, I wouldn't be making this content if it wasn't for the fact YouTube exists, but... what to do. In response, Zuckerberg wrote in a blog post, at the heart of these accusations is this idea that we prioritise profit over safety and well-being. That's just not true. Your company's worth $1 trillion. If that wasn't the case, you would be a non-profit organisation who only takes in donations. What about the Cambridge Analytica stuff? Why do you take people's information and then sell it onto other companies? Facebook is also braced for a wave of further revelations after it posted a series of tweets this week accusing unnamed news organisations of planning a gotcha campaign against the company. And now the company is now, got a victim card going on, got a victim complex going on. So it says, Facebook newsroom. To those news organisations who would like to move beyond an orchestrated gotcha campaign, we are ready to engage on the substance. John Pinnett, VP of Communications. The company is fighting a number of regulatory and legislative battles, including an attempt by the US competition regulator to force a breakup of the business. Facebook was fined $5 billion by the Federal Trade Commission in 2019 for deceiving users about its ability to keep personal information private after a year-long investigation into the Cambridge Analytica breach, where a UK analyst firm harvested millions of Facebook profiles of US voters. On Tuesday, the Attorney General of District of Columbia said he would plan to add Zuckerberg to a consumer protection lawsuit linked to the Cambridge Analytica case. Adding Mr. Zuckerberg to our lawsuit is unquestionably warranted and should send a message that corporate leaders, including CEO, will be held accountable for their actions, said Carol Racine. I think that's how you pronounce that. Racine or Racine. Responding to these Attorney General comments, a Facebook spokesperson said these allegations are as meritless today as they were more than 3 years ago. Of course he would say that. He's trying to save face. For more than 5 hours, Facebook wasn't used to deepen divides, destabilise democracies, and make young girls and women feel bad about their bodies. Paul Dongrass. For more than 5 hours, Facebook wasn't used to deepen divides. So there you go. I will leave a link to this site below. And what does this say? This is the same thing. Facebook is getting a new name, report claims. It might reflect Horizon, its in-development VR product that Mark Zuckerberg hopes will usher in the metaverse. And it just says the same thing. Of course Mark Zuckerberg would, and the company as a whole, would try to be very victim blaming of itself, or victimizing itself as a company. There's, I can't even word what I'm thinking about this right now. But this, I'm actually kind of glad that companies and organisations, including the European Union and American government firms, are checking Facebook, because they are too big for their own good. But there you go. That's that. That is Facebook. They are going to be rebranding themselves to something different. They're going to rename their whole corporate image. Facebook is going to remain the same. It's going to remain its own little thing. But the corporate image that owns Facebook is going to be turn into something else, as they're going to put their focus into their virtual reality endeavours. I think it's called Horizon, so it could be something they're working on with their Oculus brand. But there you go. I would say, I don't like Facebook, if I'm being quite honest with you. Yes, I still have an account because I want to be able to talk to friends and family who wouldn't move to other platforms. There's not that many to move on to. But you know what? You know, I kind of support the governments around the world trying to push alternates around and trying to get Facebook, you know, to break up kind of thing. I would support that because they're way too big for their own good. They've got a whole community under their belt, a massive community. The only other alternatives out there are Instagram, which they own, Discord, which thankfully they don't own, but you know, not many mums and dads would, or even grandparents even, would try to use Discord. Not easy to use it, and you can't find a Discord server easily. There's not much choice to choose from, so Facebook has a monopoly. So that would be, I really believe that they should try to, the governments around the world should try and fight for an alternative for people. I would say the same for YouTube and other sites, but that's another story. And I would say I would use Facebook, because I don't know if you know this, but Facebook are also going into like video and live streaming themselves when it comes to gaming content. They've got their Facebook gaming platform. I think if Facebook wants to take themselves seriously as an alternate to Facebook and YouTube, and Twitch, get away from Facebook. Why do I need a Facebook account? Because the thing about Facebook as well is they require you use your real name to sign up to these sites. YouTube doesn't. Twitter doesn't. Twitch doesn't force you to use your real birth name to make these sites. Yeah, it can be used for legal protections. You know, it stops people from using your name, kind of thing. But having been forced to use your own name on these public sites, especially on sites where they can harass you and all that kind of stuff, people can basically harass you and that kind of stuff, it makes things very easy. On the flip side, I would personally go for sites where, you know, if you want a general community where people can talk to each other, parents and family members can talk to each other kind of thing, yeah, that's fine. You know, you want that kind of security for people to know that it's truly you. I believe in that kind of thing. When it comes to these sites like social media, that kind of stuff, you want to be able to allow a brand that's separate from your real, you know, your birth name, your real life outlook on the world. And Facebook doesn't allow that. So what I personally believe Facebook should do, if they want to take themselves seriously as an alternate to both these sites, with their gaming platform, is the Facebook gaming platform, their live streaming and video platform, is don't call it Facebook, call it something else, and break it away. They can do that. They've got the money to just break it away from the Facebook platform and make it its own thing, make it stand on its own 2 feet, and people would probably switch on to it hook, line, and stinker. I really do believe that the reason why Facebook gaming isn't taken off as the next big thing next to YouTube or Twitch is because it's tied like that to Facebook. And let me tell you something, I would never use it for that reason. If I have to use my real name, I'm not allowed to change that kind of stuff. I'm not allowed to like use a nickname from a surname kind of thing. No, I'm not doing it. Let me know what you think about this in the comments in the comment section down below. If you're new to the channel, I would ask that you hit the subscribe button and like the video if you enjoyed. And I say, let me know how you feel about the video. That being said, folks, I am Ricky. Thanks for watching SBN News, and I will talk to you next time. Until then, stay safe. Bye bye.